Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the match between Alaves and FC Barcelona, and in this game Barcelona has won away 1-0 with a goal coming from Frenkie De Jong. And so this was again a very important win, and let me tell you why. Because Barcelona has won against Alaves, we are now officially just behind Atletico Madrid. We are in 5th place, and so if we grab a win in the next La Liga match, which will be against Atletico Madrid, Barcelona might potentially go into 4th place and finally reach the top 4. This is why I do say that this game was important. Xavi has achieved it, and now we do have the opportunity to finally touch again the top 4. Now look, even though Barcelona has achieved a win against Alaves, even though Barcelona has won 3 points, this was not the greatest game ever. I do think that this was probably one of the worst performances Xavi's Barcelona has displayed on the field tonight. And so let's talk about that, right? Because we are going to be talking about the first half, the second half, and then give the conclusion of this game. And we're going to be starting with the starting 11. So if we look at the starting 11 here, we can see that Dest was in place for Alves, and I do think that the only reason why Serginho was starting, it was because Alves did play about 3 days ago. Xavi does want to save his energy for the next matches to come, right? Alves is not the youngest player in the world, and we have to protect this player. And then we saw Luke De Jong start over Jugla. Many of us did think that Jugla was going to be starting, but because of what Luke De Jong has been saying recently, he did say that he wants to stay at Barcelona. He wants to provide for Xavi's Barcelona, and I do think that right now Luke De Jong is at a good moment right now. His energy is at a different level, and Xavi does see this, which is why we do see Luke De Jong starting with Ferran Torres and Abde on the wings. So let's go into the first half, right? And let me tell you guys, I'm going to be critiquing this in the best way possible, because in the first half we had a very flat performance. Like, this game did not impress me not one single bit, and especially in the first half. We had over 75% possession in the first half, but we produced nothing. No assist and no goals. So we used this possession for nothing. We were not effective. We did not see Abde become the greatest winger that he could become. We did not see Luke De Jong bag in 1 to 2 goals. We did not see Ferran Torres score a goal from the left flank. And I do believe that the main reason why Barcelona approached Alaves in this way is because of a attitude problem. Like, they just seemed very low. They seemed like they were just not focused in this game. Like, for example, we saw Alba misplace so many passes in the first half. We saw Busquets and Piquet carry the ball so slow. When we were transitioning towards the attack, we saw Abde always lonely. Every time he had the ball, he had no support on the right flank. And then we saw Frenkie De Jong. He was just in a place where he was not effective. He wasn't able to be effective in the attacking side, and he was unable to be effective on the defending side. Now, the one player that really contributed towards the forward line, it was Pedri. Pedri is always going to be on a different level compared to the other midfielders. It is so clear that his IQ in football is just in a much different place. Like, it shows you just how much of this Barcelona squad was missing Pedri. Like, the fact that Pedri was the only one that actually looked like he was carrying the ball effectively into the final third area, and the fact that he was also able to build around the box, it just shows you how great Pedri is and how important he is to Barcelona. Like, why did Pedri look like the only number 9 in the first half? Like, if Pedri was actually the only one that looked like he was the only attacking presence for Barcelona, something was wrong. This Barcelona team was not being efficient, and because these players looked unintimidating, right, that allowed, of course, the opposition to believe, right, a 19th place team like Alaves to believe that they can actually grab a win against FC Barcelona. And so I just think that the quality is there. Like, Xavi does have the players. It's just Abde, Frenkie, Serginho Dest, Alba, they were not utilized well. Like, they were not being maximized. And if you guys were to ask me, okay, Kevin, then what do you think would have helped Xavi's Barcelona in this game if these players had attitude problems, if these players had trouble focusing on the game? I do think that unfortunately the 2 players that would have helped us in this game, it was Dembele and Ansu Fati, because these are 2 players who can carry the ball on their own and make opportunities for themselves. Like, players like Abde, Luke, and Ferran Torres, they need service. They need a midfield that knows how to serve them well. Our midfield in this game did not provide the service that we needed. Ansu Fati and Dembele would have never relied on great service, because these are 2 players who know and understand how to utilize space very well. But that was basically it, right? Like, that was the conclusion for the first half. Barcelona were not being effective. They showed little to almost nothing within the first half. And then going into the second half, of course, Barcelona picked up their intensity. They picked up their game. Was it to a point and to a level where Barcelona looked world class and that we were going to beat Alaves 4-0, 5-0? No, but we did pick up a level. And this is proof, right? Like, this is why I'm telling you guys, like, it's just proof that the fact that they were able to switch their energy, their focus into the second half and really up their level, it just shows you that they entered this game in a very bad way. Like, they just look like they did not want to play, but the quality is there. These players were asleep before this game even started. And so one very big change did happen within Barcelona's game in the second half that really woke up Barcelona on how to move forward, and that was the great effectiveness of Pedri and Frenkie De Jong. These were two interior midfielders that played well, and because of that, Barcelona were able to move more. And especially for Frenkie, right? Because Frenkie in the first half, he looked very static. The only thing he did was receive the ball and then pass the ball back. But in the second half, Frenkie was always checking in every area of the pitch. He was always involved, and his movement between the center backs and the full backs and to the spaces was also world class. Like, I love the way Frenkie was performing in the second half. And then when you mix that type of performance with Pedri's performance in the midfield, you have a great attacking presence. This is why we saw Barcelona much more dangerous, and why we saw Abde, Ferran and Luke de Jong see much more of the ball, and why they saw more goal scoring opportunities. And so Frenkie is just, he's not useless, right? I think that many of us are misunderstanding who Frenkie is. He's not useless. He does have the quality, but he needs to be on the ball more, because that is the only way you could get the best out of this player. Like, I get that his off the ball movement is great, but him being on the ball, it is something that you just cannot ignore. Now, of course, there could be that debate. If you have Gavi on the ball, Frenkie on the ball, Pedri on the ball, who would be the two players that look the best on the ball? It would be Gavi and Pedri, but that would be for a whole other different conversation. But moving forward, right, Alaves still saw some chances in the second half, and the one area that they were attacking was on their left side, which was on Barcelona's right side. And the one player that I do want to talk about, it is Serginho Dest, because the fact that Serginho Dest was so easily passed on that right flank, it just makes me question, right, is Serginho Dest actually Barcelona material? Because the fact that he was so unaware of the players that were making runs behind him, the fact that he was unable to bring an attacking presence to the front line, again, it made many people question. And I know that this is going to make Xavi question whether this player here, this American Serginho Dest, is Barcelona material. Because if we were to go into the 77th minute, there was a moment, right, that really did tick many people off, and that was a moment where Alaves almost scored through a header. We saw a ball go into the box, one of the wingers for Alaves crossed that ball to the box, we saw another player make a run into the box, and Serginho Dest got completely ran through, and they went over Serginho Dest in the air, and Dest was just unaware that that player was coming from behind him. We can look at these pictures here so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about. As a right back, as a full back, you can never allow this. You can never allow this, because what happens when you do face against a City or a Bayern or a Chelsea or a Liverpool? You're going to get dismantled. You're going to get ran through 99% of the time. Dest made Alaves look like they were like a Bayern or a City, and that is a very big problem. But now let's go into the 87th minute, right? Because that is where we finally did see some light from this very dark performance that we saw tonight on the field. Because we saw Alba make a wonder pass with his right foot, not his left foot, but his right foot. He passes it over the defensive line of Alaves. It goes into the box. Ferran Torres receives the ball. He puts it on the ground. He passes it towards Frenkie De Jong, and Frenkie De Jong, the one player that has been having trouble bringing results to Barcelona, has actually brought a result and a goal to Barcelona and brought Barcelona 1-0 up in the 87th minute. Frenkie De Jong has saved Barcelona and has given Barcelona the full 3 points. This was a play between Alba and Ferran Torres and Frenkie where we really needed this play to happen, and especially knowing that this did involve Frenkie and Alba, because these were two players that did not show their best throughout the whole course of this game. And especially for Frenkie, I'm so glad that Frenkie has delivered in a way where Xavi did expect him to, because Xavi did say Frenkie is a player that needs to be on the ball more. He needs to be more forward. He needs to score more goals. He has more assists than him, and we saw that tonight with Frenkie De Jong. And because of him, again, like I have said in the beginning of this video, Barcelona is officially in 5th place. We are tied in games played with Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid and Barcelona will go into their 22nd game by their next La Liga match, and they will be facing against each other. And if Barcelona does win on that night, Barcelona is going to go over Atletico Madrid, and we will be officially in 4th place. So it's going to be very important. I'm glad that this little rest period that is going to be coming up is coming at the right moment. I think that these players do need it, because that game against Atletico Madrid, it is going to be requiring a lot. But that is going to wrap up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.